not making any money on DoorDash? We are going to cover ways to boost your earnings when times are slow right now. Can you still make money when times are slow on DoorDash? Well, multi-apping with DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, Walmart, Spark, and other apps, when we have seen some of the darkest and slowest days in years, might just be the key for you. A couple of weeks ago, I had some of the absolute worst weeks I have seen since I started doing a food delivery in the gig economy in like 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. It was discouraging, disappointing, and at the least for me, had me really reevaluating if I should continue doing anything in the gig economy anymore. Many of you feel the same way? Leave it in the comments. Okay, sorry for the rant. Well, I tried a new strategy that we are going to share with you today that hopefully will help you get out of this funk and back to making money. Now, before we even begin, disclaimer, your market will most definitely be different than mine. But if you are feeling even the slightest how I felt about these gig apps, DoorDash in particular, hopefully this will help you, even some of you, get back on track and making money again. Now, if you clicked on this video thinking it is a DoorDash video, it's not. It's more about multi-apping and doing it with the other apps. So sorry if that's what you were thinking, but hopefully you continue watching this because there is some very valuable information included. I thought I would share this because if I'm feeling it, there are definitely other drivers just like you that have seen DoorDash dwindling, the gig economy dwindling, and it just has been flat out slow. But as we had some of our worst days, I kept thinking there has to be a way of making money. I personally still believe in the gig economy, and I don't think it's going anywhere in the near future, but it really didn't help me, and that I was personally not making the type of money that I was normally used to making. Oh God, it was so frustrating. When I say it was bad, my worst week I have ever had was the week after Christmas. I had to figure it out, and I had to really do it quickly. Just like most of you, we turned to YouTube and listened, and I got inspired to think differently of how I work, what apps I work, and what times we work. You get the picture. I threw what I was doing just out the window and started with a complete new fresh perspective. If you want to change, it has to start with you, right? So I need you to stick with us and keep an open mind. If it doesn't work for you, it's okay. But hopefully I will inspire you to try a new strategy or something different that might work even better for you in your own market. Believe me, we are no experts, but when we find something that works, we want others to have as much success as we've had, or I've had, in the past week. Yes, it's only been a week, but when I produced weekly numbers this week that I haven't seen in over a year, I think I'm on the right path, and to me, it's definitely a win, and hopefully it'll be a win for you. Before we even begin, tell me what you have seen in your markets these past 2 weeks. Have you seen what I am? Just slow. Also, if you don't mind, please consider subscribing to this channel before you leave. Okay, this is what I changed and helped me achieve an awesome week. And hopefully it might just help it change it for you too. Now, I only worked the absolute peak times in my market. However, in the mornings and even late afternoons when I would normally be out working, I turned on Instacart, Uber Eats, Spark, and when there was a good order, I would actually just go, leave it, and do it, making it worth my time. If I got a catering app order, I did it. These are just the simple things that I did. Now, here is the game changer. If you would have told me I would be doing this 3 years ago, I would have laughed in your face because I was so against it. Shop and Pays. Shop and Pays saved my butt big time, and I will get into this in a little bit, but that's just one of the pieces. I went back to being the best multi-apper I knew, or I know, hopefully. And I'll be honest, I feel like I lost my way over the past couple months, even year. Last week, I followed the money, and the money led me to Shop and Pays. So there are two parts to this. Let's start with multi-apping. I turned on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Walmart, Spark, and Instacart. My catering apps always stayed on, and if I got an order, I took it for the next day. Pretty easy. But here is what inspired me last week. Whatever I thought was a good order, I just took it. It didn't matter what app I worked, I just took a good order. I had earnings on 7, maybe it was 8 apps. I think it was 8 apps last week. Where previously I would have maybe used 3, maybe 4 apps throughout my entire week. A good order is just a good order, and I took it. But I didn't waste time on non-peak times in my car hoping and waiting an order would come. But when I worked, I hustled my butt and made the best out of the time I was out there. Now, the second to this week was Shop and Delivers. And we are not just talking Instacart or Spark. We are talking all platforms. I know some of you absolutely hate shopping. Believe me. I was you a couple of years ago. Let me be honest. I'm still not a fan of doing it. But what I am a fan of? Money. And you know what? There are some really great orders to be had shopping. They can put some big money in your totals, but you have to be open to doing it. Get out of your comfort zone. I did. So if you are not convinced yet, I'm going to share with you just some of the highlights of my shopping orders last week. Let's start with Spark first. I did a couple of them last week, but this was a shop and pay. But you know what I like about Spark? And I really do love Spark. When you can get them. That's the key, which is why I always keep it on the background. It is such an easy shop to do between having all their aisle numbers and section numbers in easy scan and go at checkout. God, I love them. And it makes drivers' lives so much easier. Anyway, next, we're going to show you 2 Uber Eats Shop and Pays for last week. One was earlier in the week, which is actually right here. And one was from last night. Would any of you have turned down an order like this? How can you turn down or give up $41? $41, that's a good chunk of change. Even if this took you an hour to 2 hours, in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. Next, Instacart. To be honest, I hated Instacart. I'm still not the biggest fan, but we are going to practice what we preach. Don't get me wrong. There are still some really crappy orders on Instacart, and they just kind of make your head shake and laugh sometimes because they're ridiculous. But what I found out this week is if you are patient and you're quick, you can make some really good money. Don't get me wrong, patience is not one of my strong suits when it comes to waiting for orders. But when a right one comes around, I jump on it and create some really good money and payouts. So here are some orders I took last week. When I talk batches, I was so against doing more than actually 2. 3, forget about it. Well, with this new philosophy of trying and doing and thinking things differently, I did some of my biggest batches. They took time, don't get me wrong. But some of the biggest payouts, just like this one, was last week. Yes, of course, I'm well aware batches can be dropped if you don't want them at all. But why drop them when you can actually make some really decent money? What I learned last week: do everything different, or something you haven't never done or haven't done in a while. It changes your mindset and opens you up to making money, if not even more money again. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with this. I found a really good combination last week between food delivery and shopping delivery. And this was the biggest key to having a really stellar week. I took multi-apping to a new level last week, and I took orders, and the right orders for me. It was okay to be patient. Not overly patient. It was okay to be open to new things, and it was okay to follow the money wherever it led me, and hopefully you too. Speaking of leading us, I didn't limit myself to working in one particular area. I went wherever the order sent me, and then took the next best order and went wherever that order took me. I was open to not being stuck in one town, in one area, and even one zone. I zone hop last week like the best of you drivers out there, and you know what? Limiting my dead miles coming back and forth. If you still don't like an area, still don't do it for your own personal safety reasons. That's still okay. That's not what I'm saying. But if it's not a safety issue, suck it up, buttercup, and go and explore new areas. You just never know. My hope is that we inspire you to try new things instead of the same old things that aren't making you money, like just being stuck on just the DoorDash app. If Shop and Pays pay off, I'm here to take them, and they are making me money, and they have been. That's what I'm all about, going out and making my goals any way possible, and any app possible as well. It's not going to be easy, believe me. It's a struggle out there, and if you ever find something that works like I did, I'm here to share it with you, and I'm here to build you up and to make you more money as well. And hopefully this video did it for you today. Once again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. What are you waiting for? Also, everyone, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're driving, stay safe out there. Remember, kindness is always free. I love you guys, and I'll see you next video. Peace.